Hello and welcome to episode 56 of the Youth Intake Challenge with Dulwich Hamlet, and we've not got one, but we've got two chances to get into the Premier League, so let's get straight to it and see if we can make it to the promised land. And here we go. When you last left us, we had about 7 games to go or 6 games to go until we were going to end the season. There was an outside chance of us catching up with Barnsley. With 1 game to go, we are just about there. Unfortunately, when we did start them games, we drew 1-1 with Charlton, which was one of the teams down the bottom end of the table. A 1-0 goal from Arnal Roldan. They got a 96-minute equaliser. 2 points dropped, which put a massive dent in us catching them up. We'll look at Barnsley's form in a minute. We've been pretty good since then. We beat Sheffield United, Brighton, Bolton reasonably comfortably. Brighton was a bit touch and go. But I think it kind of counterbalances with the Charlton game. And we picked up the points and got a little bit of luck there. 1-1 with Leeds. Again, another tough game. A goal down for a long time. I managed to get an equaliser through Patrick Pepra. Comfortable against Leicester. Comfortable against Norwich. And that leaves us with a home tie against Barnsley in what is essentially a winner-takes-all game. Barnsley, within the last 6 or 7 games, if we look at their schedule, not quite as good form. Again, they drew at the same time as us. They've lost a couple games in there. And what that ultimately means in terms of the championship is that we are 3 points behind. And we play them on the final day of the season. We've got the superior goal difference. So essentially, if we beat them, we're up. Anything else, we're in the playoffs. And we'll have a chance to play against one of the other teams. I think we would probably be against either Middlesbrough or Derby in the first round of the semi-final, and then it would be the winner of the other tie for a place in the Premier League. So, I mean, it's much against the odds. We've been fantastic all season. I say all season. We had a slow start. Once we changed the formation and went kind of more aggressive, more goal-scory, we got on a lot better. We had a little wobble when we went into December. I think we always do. I'm not sure why it happens. I think it's fitness. But ultimately, we've put ourselves in a position where we could potentially get to the Premier League. We've been in the Championship for a number of seasons now. I think if we can... Where's the best way to follow it through? Club info, history... There we go. So we got up. We've had a 19th, a 14th, a 12th, and then now we're in the kind of top 4 or 5 for a place in the Premier League. And without going through too much of the other stuff, because we can kind of go through that in the end of season review, we'll just get into the game and see if we can make it. So 1 game takes all. I'll click through and get us ready, and we will see if we can make it the first attempt or we have to take it to the playoffs. So stay tuned. And here we go. The game's upon us. This is it. Winner takes all. Home against Barnsley. Team we got out for today. We've got Ibrahim in goals. A back 4 of Clifford, De Havilland, McAvoy and Coleman. Midfield 2 is Soldier Mandanda, the Wonder Kid in the old sweat. We've got Ozer on the left, Silverio on the right, and Roldan and Dunk playing up top. Number of goals between them, good spread of goals around the team. Again, Dunk and Roldan 14 each. Ozer with 12 from the left, Silverio 7 from the right, and a good 12 from Paul Sodge in the middle. Also chipping in from the back, notable mention, Adi McAvoy, 9 goals, chance to make it double figures for the season. Let's hope he does it today. If he picks his moment, we can get something from a corner. We'll carry on with the cautious approach. It's been working for us so well. At previous meeting this season, Barnsley beat us, so it's expected to be a fairly tough game. But in a one-off winner takes all, anyone can be the winner. So we're going to treat it like a cup final. We're going to stay cautious for a huge portion of the game. And if we can get it over the line, we're in the Premier League. If we can't, we go into the playoffs. It's not the end of the world. But we all know that our luck in the playoffs isn't particularly great. I think over the last however many seasons it's been, what is season 18, I don't think we've done particularly well in playoffs. Maybe one across the whole history since we've been in this save. So we'll see. I'd rather do it ahead of the playoffs, but again, that's largely dependent on how well we play and how bad Barnsley might play, because they're not up there for no reason. They've probably been one of the most consistent teams over the 46-game season. You could almost argue that they maybe deserve to go up. However, this is the 46th game, so it's ultimately down to this. As Roldan breaks through, Silverio gets a snapshot, so 2.5 minutes into the game. First kind of shot on target goes to the mighty Dulwich Hamlet. Sodge in with a corner. De Havilland back to Sodge. In it goes again. We just can't get the final contact on it. Ball's rattling around a little bit, and Barnsley look to break quickly, but The highlight kind of fizzles out. Good little start, 67% or 60% possession, which is really good from our point of view. That's the way we play. Play defensive, cautious, hold the ball, and try and create that opening. Silverio to Coleman, roll down, breaking down the right-hand side this time, only leaving Dunk in the box, really. Coleman drives in from the side. I mean, that's a wild shot. It's taken a deflection, which I think is quite lucky. It was almost going for a throw-in. Sodge will throw it in on the 11th minute. Blocked initially. Silverio with a chance. I mean, again, he's being crowded out. Sodge picks it up again. And I don't think you can underestimate Sodge's influence. We nearly let him go in the summer because there was big bids coming in for him. We've held on to him. Can he be the one who makes the difference and gets us up into the pinnacle of English football in the Premier League? Again, most of the highlights as it currently stands going to us. I wouldn't count on that staying for the whole game, but it just shows you how well this formation's been working. Sodge through to Dunk, into roll down. Can he feed it through to Silverio? Oh, and it's crept in. I thought it was a poor shot at first. I mean, was that a mistake by the keeper? Good little interchange of play. Dunk forward to roll down. Wasn't sure he could find that player. He does into Silverio. I thought he'd lost the chance with the first touch. Keeper's just kind of weak-armed it in at the near post. And we have currently got the 3 points we need. 16 minutes in, so a long way to go. Again, it's going to take a huge performance from our players to hold on for, 74 minutes, so a huge portion of the game. We're currently in second, just behind West Brom. Again, how long can we hold out for? I think the first goal is really to kind of keep it tight till half-time. Coleman with a throw-in now. I mean, they'll certainly change their mentality and the way they play. We just have to continue to try and hit them on the counter. McAvoy into Sodge. Ball up to Dunk. Oza down the left. Still a threat on a counter-attack roll down with a poor finish there. Could have made it two. Front players playing really well again. McAvoy at the back playing also really well. Touching on that kind of 7. You always want to see the kind of the ratings go green. It shows that you're having a good game. But 30 minutes into the game, good possession, highest amount of chances, and the all-important goal. Into Oza, cuts in on his right foot, just gets tipped over the bar. But we'll have another corner. Sodge will deliver it. We're looking for McAvoy. He's the one who's been threatening from these all season. Haviland Silverio with a chance to get a second, but so far so good. 7 shots, 4 on target. Good XG. Possession still going really well. Defensively, we've not been tested too much as we drift in towards half time. Is there going to be any injuries? Just a minute, and there we go. So half time. What do we do here? I think we're ahead and we deserve to be. Let's keep it going. Not often I'll always kind of disagree with what the assistant's saying, but I just think on some occasions they're not quite hitting the mark with what would be ideal for our team. Again, we watch the players in the fitness. We look reasonably good condition as it currently stands. Sodge into Oza, ball to the back post. Coleman will have a chance to hit something. Oh, that has gone for a throw in this time. I said it last time. And yeah, that was worse than the one he had before. Again, more and more players creeping into the above 7 ratings. Mandanda now through to Sodge. Lovely little change, but couldn't just quite get it through. We need to get this ball back sharpish because they're making a chance down the right hand side. Norton, Whitehead, I mean, shot over the bar, but that's going to give them a bit of encouragement, which is the last thing we need. Playing out from the back, Clifford, can we just get past their back 4, break the press? Haviland, Sodge, Mandanda into roll down. Silverio down the right. I mean, that's a poor touch. Silverio, quite unlike him. Mandanda this time. Silverio again. Can he do better? Into roll down. He finishes it. It looked offside. Yeah, I mean, he didn't even get the benefit of finishing it and getting a replay. So he must have been a considerable different distance offside. Chances drying up in the second half. Possession is still high. We're really limiting any kind of opportunity from them as we approach the final 20 minutes. Again, we'll just keep an eye on fitness. I don't want to change anything because it'll upset the way we're playing. Happy for the clock to tick down because it looks like we might get there. I mean, from the start of the season, this is massively unexpected. Mandanda's tired. We'll bring Carr on. We can't carry any kind of unfit players as we approach the final 5 minutes. Ball over the top. I don't know what McAvoy was doing there, but I do not like it when he lets the player get in from that kind of distance behind him. Into injury time. 5 minutes of injury time then for a place in the Premier League. Silverio to Coleman. In on the edge of the box. Has a shot. Thought could have maybe had a touch from roll down there to make it 2. Into the final 2.5 minutes. Sodge, get rid of it, do something with it into roll down, just trying to cut past the back four. Barnsley down the left hand side, ball over the top to Haviland's headed it weakly out wide. Chance fizzles out, final 2 minutes, please no more highlights. I mean, that's past the 5 minutes. We're looking for the whistle. Ball over the top. Suma's got it. It's a free kick for us. Surely that's the end of the game now. Last little set piece from the back. I mean, we're well beyond the 5 minutes injury time. The whistle's gone. We'll just have to have a look at the table to make sure. I'm pretty sure on goal difference that is us in the Premier League. Yeah, we are in the Premier League. Let's have a quick look at the table. Snuck up in second. I will get through to the end of season review. Thankfully, we don't have to go through the playoffs. We'll get through the review, and that way we can prepare for a season in the Premier League. So stay tuned. And welcome back. Following promotion, we'll just have a quick confirmation through the emails. I mean, massively unexpected. Still buzzing. Again, what a performance that last day of the season was. 12-4 on shots. XG miles better than theirs. 1.53 against 0.39, and possession of 68 against 32. There was only one team in it really in that final game, and it just goes to show how well we've been in the second half of the season. Did I really believe at the start of the season we would be here? No, absolutely not. Aiming for a playoff spot, which I thought we were capable of. I just think the new formation has really worked in our favour. Allows us to be quite defensively solid while still kind of becoming a bit more scoring, because that's really where we were struggling, was in terms of the goals. Looking at the league table itself, I think that shows as well. Is, I mean, a goal difference of 33, so quite a distance off the top, but a really good defensive side. Not many teams, only one really that conceded less than us, and that was Derby, who just couldn't really score as many. So huge positive in terms of not conceding many. Massive improvement in terms of the goals scored. We still draw too many games. I think I'd like to have a few more wins, wouldn't we all? But I mean, the season in the Premier League is going to be particularly tough. Looking at the inbox again, promoted to the Premier League, only ever finished 12th. Key player Paul Sodge in the pivotal match against Plymouth 2-1. I don't know why that's the pivotal game, but it is. Initial budgets of 28.24 million, which should be great if we were on a spend, but we don't. Initial wage budget of £425,000 per week. A lot of that I would imagine would be taken up by the initial promotion bonuses for all the players. Most importantly though is we need to tie down Sodge and Mandanda on long-term contracts now that we're up into the Premier League, to stop people poaching them away and putting us in a really weak position. Post-match press conference I'll let them do. Again, promotion, rejoicing in promotion success. Wonders with the resources at disposal. Again, I mean, it's been a while. We're in 2042. It's taken us that long to get to the Premier League, but again, doing it with the team we've done in the way we've done it is a fantastic achievement. Board praising us, unbelievable promotion. Mandanda praising us, which is good, because I'm going to ask him to sign a new contract. I just need him to tell Sodge that I'm great too, and that way we can get them both on for long-term contracts. And that's it. So again, I'll get to the end of season review. We'll whiz through that fairly quickly, and we'll try and get through the transfer window and start next season in the Premier League. Welcome back. A little bit of positive news. Maybe Mandanda has spoke to Paul Sodge, because he no longer wants to leave in order to join Brentford. He thinks he would be better off staying here. So although he's got another 2 years left on his contract, we will be in very short order kind of going to him and trying to offer him a new 5-year contract, him and Mandanda, and anyone who's got the top end of the potential threshold. I think we'll be looking to tie down for a huge number of years. But again, I just thought I'd let you know he's happy to stay now, so things looking positive. Clifford also developing, decent championship player. Can he make it to Premiership standards? I hope so, because he's one of our best defenders. So we need to keep him in there centre half and see if we can just take him on a little bit further. So promise no more turbo waffle. I'll get to the end of season review and then I can turbo waffle. And here we are for the end of season review. We won't spend too much time on this because I'm pretty sure we're all eager to get onto the next part of the season and see how we do in the Premier League. I think the transfer window, I know we don't sign anybody, but negotiating contracts. We've already done 3. De Havilland signed a new contract. McAvoy and Ibrahim have all signed new 5-year contracts. So the rest of them we've got again. At the moment, Sodge doesn't want to, but I need to wait for the move to the Premier League to tick over for that to kind of really take effect. In terms of transfers out, Dean Spence went C+. The fans weren't really happy at all when he went. However, he was starting to drift out of being a first team player. We dropped to a 2-man midfield at the time. So 3.1 million for a 32-year-old in our current financial situation was a must-have, really. Louis Brathwaite, again, we let him go. He was never really developing into a first-choice left-back, despite us trying as hard as we can. Danny Calder as well, a young goalkeeper. Again, he wasn't terrible. He had a lot of promise. But we had 3 really good goalkeepers in front of him, so it really wasn't worth spending no money on him. And Ronaldo van der Heuvel, again, he wasn't going to make it on the right-hand wing. Silverio became the first fiddle out there. So, yeah, we had to let him go, really. In terms of the loans out, I mean, we'll see if I got any right this year. I don't normally. Ovian, B-, that's pretty good rating for me. Good 7.5 average rating. He's developed really well while he's been away. I think he's going to be a feature of the squad when we're starting next season. Dave White, again, a young striker. He'd scored some goals from his last season, but we let him go to Greenock Morton. Mergham Tahiri, good young midfielder. Boswick, another young midfielder. A winger in Malenga, again, he's had a good little spell out on loan. Yaboa, I'm not too sure he's going to make it long term. Steve Byrne, I think, has some potential, but I'm not sure he's going to be a real feature. Eric Lynch kind of fell out of favour, so we let him go. I don't think we're going to keep him much longer, but that's just me. Lee Wilson, good young centre-half. He might come back and feature in the squad. Richard Ward's an interesting one because I didn't really see too much in him in terms of massive potential, but I think when you look at him and look at his reports, that could improve a lot, and I think they have hinted that he could potentially become a Premier League player as well. So one to keep an eye on. So that was Ward. Canderton went away on loan, came back and featured towards the end of the season, so that's good. Houghton's back, Caden Key's young keeper, and James Healy, who is a good young striker, but I'm not sure he's going to be a feature in the first team when he comes back. Moving into the results, again, we've just picked up into second there, A+, probably the best rating we've had. Top goal scorer in the league, 13 from Marnell, rolled down, but the goals were very much spread around the team. I think in terms of the progression for the league, really slow, poor start, really. Took us a while to get going, but when we did get in our groove, fairly consistent. The usual wobble around the December period, but second half of the season, fantastic. Only losing the one game to Luton Town, and even then that was a narrow 1-0 victory. So formation change is good. Whether we can carry that formation into the Premier League, I'm not sure. We might have to drop one of the strikers down to midfield and consolidate the position, become a bit even sturdier at the back, because it's going to be a different challenge before we can get some more youth players in to take us on to a next level. FA Cup wise, we did alright until we met Liverpool, so we beat Derby County 5-1, which was fantastic, but Liverpool dumped us out unceremoniously. By far and away the better team. I know we got it back to 2-1, but they were by far better than us. It was just a case of us hanging on. Carabao Cup, again, really good progression in that, got us some funding, but we got to Manchester United and they beat us 3-1. And again, I think we took the lead in that game and thought maybe we could cause a massive upset and get to a semi-final. But it wasn't to be. They turned it on in the second half and absolutely destroyed us. So no shame in that, but it was never a cup we were ever really going to win. Moments to remember, 5-1 against Derby in the FA Cup. Good goal scorers in there, White, Dunk, Oza, McAvoy and Haviland, some of the real key players in there. Match to remember, a 5-4 win away at Middlesbrough. Again, what a difference that makes now when you look back. An 85th minute winner. Just them extra 2 points was the difference between going up or being in the playoffs. And goal of the season was scored in the FA Cup in a 5-1 victory against Derby. Top draw finish from White, who's scored an overhead kick. I'll see if I can dig that one out. I don't think it was a great overhead kick. It was an overhead kick, but I don't think it was one of them ones that bullets in the top corner. I think it was a bit of a scuffler, but we'll see. In terms of the finances, I mean, the reputation's gone up, which is great because we're a Premier League team now. Good sponsorship deal. Annual revenue's kind of gone down a little bit in some of them. Not massive in hospitality. Prize money's gone down a bit, despite our cup run, which is a bit surprising. And in terms of merchandise, nothing really there on terms of the shirt sales, which is a bit surprising because normally they have it in there. How we lined up then, I mean, you can see the change. We changed quite early into this new 4-2-4 formation, if that's what you'll call it. Huge benefit to the average ratings and the goals scored. You can see the assists as well, really well spread around. O's a really creative force on the left-hand side and chipping in double figures. But Ibrahim in goals, he's got some competition coming through from Kutlu. Back four are Clifford, De Havilland, McAvoy and Coleman. Again, them three there, Clifford, Havilland and McAvoy, are all centre-halves. So we need to find someone really to kind of fill in at left-back long-term to get Clifford to slot into the middle where we can rotate them three around. Coleman really good on the right-hand side. Needs an understudy in Brewstad to kind of hit his form. Carr and Soggy in the middle, I don't think that's quite accurate because I think Mandanda should be in there. Maybe he's in there due to a number of injuries to Mandanda, but Carr did feature quite a lot as an understudy within that position. Silvera's cemented himself first place on the right. He's taken over Mal Taylor, Oza on the left, and then Roldan and Dunk finally playing together up front to make us a bit more of a goal threat. In terms of the accolades, 2 Manager of the Month awards, October and April. Nothing in for December, which was the poo patch. Then Club Awards, we've got Player of the Season, Sodge, and Young Player of the Season again, second season running. Goal of the Season, White, which we've already been informed of. Dunk, top scorer with 14. Most assists, Oza with 17. Most match awards is, and most passes per 9 minutes, Matt Halligan. It always surprises me that stat. It's always a centre half, especially in a possession heavy team. And we've got Sodge, the kid there with the highest average rating. Most goals for Dulwich Hamlet now is Tony Dunk with 129. History in the making. And in terms of the manager timeline, a bit of a bigger one this year. Up one right at the death for the 94th minute win against Reading. How many of these last minute winners have contributed to us bumping up a league? I mean, how much fortune is there in this? Another one right at the death, Blackburn 94th minute winner in the 2-1s. That's 2. I mean, how bizarre. Primus Salami signed on dotted line for young players coming through. We got Sodge. He was in the Next Gen Awards. He didn't win it, but he was in the top 50 young players coming through, which is fantastic. Promoted to the Premier League, which is huge. I'm really excited to see what we can do in the Premier League and if that's going to change the standard of players coming through the youth system. And yeah, we've gone all the way from the bottom to the top. Let's see what we can do. And the next challenge is to really kind of push up towards the mid-table to top end. It might take a few number of years in there, but journey starts here, so let's get cracking. I'm back for the final time of the episode. Last kind of things to go through now are the changes as we move up into the Premier League. So first one is in terms of the facilities. The capacity is going to be boosted. I think we get another 2,500 seats coming. So that planned stadium works 2,150 seats from terrace and under soil heating to be completed in July. So before the season starts, which is magnificent. In terms of the staff, they've increased the numbers. So we've got some recruiting to do. More coaches. We were already in good position for the Championship, but I might wait for it to tick into the Premier League when we're named as a Premier League club before I advertise, because I think we might get a slightly better calibre of coaching staff come through. Nothing in terms of the medical, but we have got some more scouts coming through for the recruitment team. I know we don't sign any players, but it does help us evaluate how well our players are going to develop long term. Again, that's really good news. Now, the really interesting thing is long term in terms of improving the facilities, etc. Where we've always been projected to lose millions and millions of pounds. When you look at our finances now, and again we're 2.3 million in the red and decreasing. When you now look at the projection, we're projected within 3 years to be 129 million. So what a turnaround that is, and that could be hugely beneficial in terms of getting the final upgrades we need to make ourselves one of the elite youth producing clubs in the country. So huge season ahead of us. Once again, thanks for watching. I'll try and take the smile off my face at some point, but getting to the Premier League is what we wanted to do. The journey's been fantastic. Keep an eye out, because I'm going to do a video of how we got here in terms of the players, so it'll just be very much a player focused, who the best 11 were each year over the 18 seasons we've played so far to get into the Premier League. So that'll be coming soon. Some of the old favourites will be in there. We can look at and see where they are now. And then after that, I'll get through to the episode where we do the summer review, because we've got a bit of a squad to refine. That's the current squad. Everyone's in a perfect morale. We've still got a huge number of potential developments in there. What we need to now do is introduce some of the young players coming back from loan, fit out a kind of 25 to 30 man squad, and see what our prediction is for the first season of the Premier League, and then relentlessly fight for some 0-0 points to keep us in the division, and see if that's something that we can do. So a lot to look forward to, and until next time, enjoy yourselves, enjoy save, enjoy your weekends, and I'll catch you soon. Goodbye.